Hey guys, welcome back to another Mofi Minute, where we cover all the weekly news of Mobile Fidelity every week. I'm Nick Naruz. I'm here at Toad Hall Books and Records doing the Mofi Minute like I do every week. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe. It does help us out. Okay, so this week we have not a huge amount of news coming from Mobile Fidelity. However, we are going to go over Silver Label. What's the difference between an original master recording and Silver Label? I see a lot of you are new to collecting Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab records, or they're new to audiophile, or you're new to records in general. We're going to cover all that today. But first, we're going to get the restock out of the way. Like I said, there wasn't any big trucks expected this week at Music Direct. So what we have is just a little bit of restock, nothing huge this week. Some titles I haven't had in a little bit. Shake It Up still available from the Cars, as well as their self-titled still available. The other Cars albums are awaiting repress, so right now it's just Shake It Up and self-titled. The other two, I think, are coming back at some point. Surrealistic Pillow, this is a 45 RPM. This is back. And a lot of talk about the Nylon Curtain this week online. Billy Joel in general, always a good pickup. 45 RPM as well. These are back in stock. Okay, so I know, like I said, a lot of you have been wondering, what the heck is Silver Label? What's the difference? I don't really get it. Why are there two different labels? So Mobile Fidelity has trouble getting original master tapes for every one of their records. Sometimes the tapes are destroyed. Sometimes they're not available yet. Maybe they were destroyed in a universal fire, or maybe the band has them, or they haven't communicated with the label where they're at. For whatever reason, Music Direct, Mobile Fidelity cannot access these tapes. So they can get the rights to get the music, but they can't get the original master tapes like they usually do. What do you do? Especially when, in a time when it's getting harder and harder to license music because labels are doing their own vinyl. So years ago, they started a Silver Label. So we're going to go over that today. As you can see, Silver Labels are first most distinguishable by their banner. So on an original master recording, which means they got the original analog tapes, the original master tapes, like on this, it'll say original master recording, which is typically how Mobile Fidelity's and what made them famous in the first place. So it says that at the top. On the Silver Label, they will say Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. And a lot of them are silver to distinguish that they're a Silver Label. Also on the back, right here, Silver Label. So, again, these are always taken from an analog source. Maybe it's like a mother tape, or like maybe it's like a secondary. Maybe it's not the master, but maybe it's one down. Maybe it's like a first dub, or like, it doesn't mean that it's not a quality source. It's not like they just took a used record out of the bin and remastered it. They went out, they tried to find what they could. They found a really great source, and they put it through the same process. It still goes through the Gain 2 Ultra analog system, like all their original master recordings do. So they are pressed at a high fidelity, just like the original master recordings, but they're just being honest about what the source was. I will add that Mobile Fidelity and Mofi is about the only record label that's honest about all their releases. You'll notice that typically, especially on regular press records, they almost never say what their source is. They won't tell you if it's analog, they won't tell you if it's digital, they won't tell you where they got it, where it came from, who analog, who pressed it, anything. Mobile Fidelity is unique in that they always are honest about what they got their source from. It's very rare, mainly because they don't think it's important to the consumer. Well, when you're pressing analog high-end records, they know it's important, and they make sure they put that into what they produce. So we're going to go through a few Silver Labels. I'll also let you know that Silver Labels actually are a little bit cheaper. So we're a normal, these are all 45 RPMs. We're a normal 33, here you go. A normal 33, like I got the car shaken up, is around $35. You can buy a Silver Label for $10 less, 26 bucks, making them one of the best bargains out there among new vinyl. It's hard to find just any old new vinyl press that's under $26, $25, $26 these days. And to get one that's been mastered correctly, done in a great packaging, and you know, backed by their all analog system, it's a great pickup. So don't shy away from these. And we're gonna kind of flip through a few more that I got. Here's a Linda Ronstadt Heart Like a Wheel. These came back in last week. Actually, it doesn't even say silver label on these. But Mobie Fidelity Sound Lab at the top. Here's another silver label. Silver label. Ricky sings again. Here's a Yaz. Upstairs at Eric's. Silver label. Bobby Darin, Love Swings, silver label. And Sisters of Mercy. I saw some people were talking about this came back in stock last week, and they're discussing like this didn't feel like it was up to par with a lot of the other Mobie Fidelity releases, and they're wondering why and why it was cheaper. Well, it's a silver label. So obviously every recording is a little different depending on the source, depending on where they can get it. Don't shy away from them. They usually are pretty good, especially because there's not going to be a better version of them out there. It's not like you can go and find Men at Work business as usual in a different, higher quality press. You're either going to get a standard copy from the 80s or you're going to buy this. And this is going to sound better than the old version. So your options are limited. And for the price, you really can't beat it. So thanks so much for watching. Next week, we'll have a whole big batch of news right here on the Mofi Minute. Thanks for watching, guys.